Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mias, and today I'm actually going to be talking about the mutant cards. And I just realized that my intro is getting really repetitive and boring, so I'm probably going to try to, get rid of it indefinitely. This is actually the new TCG exclusive that we just got announced by Ruggles, my boy Ryan, the legend himself, yesterday. And I know I'm very late, I'm one day late. I should technically have a combo video, deck profile, and testing video up already. But obviously, since I'm extremely lazy, I obviously don't have any of that. So we're gonna start off with doing a review, and then we're going to jump into the combos and stuff. And once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. The first card is already the trap card. Interesting. So the normal trap card, once again, you already know that Trap Trick can actually Trap Trick into this, but Trap Trick is cool because it also banishes a trap card with the same name. And with the mutant cards, you actually like having banished cards, which is interesting. So during the main phase only, so already if you have a trap card and you get Twin Twister or Cosmic Cyclone during the draw phase or standby phase, you can't chain this. It's during the main phase only, exactly like Prankit's Pandemonium, and there's another one, rank up magic cards like Phantom Knight Force and rank up magic Phantom Force, or wait, hold on, Launch and Force. Oh, yes, okay. So yeah, during the main phase, fusion summon one mutant fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it into the deck from among your cards on the field in your graveyard and face-up banished cards. You can only activate one mutant. Interesting. So it's basically a better Cyberload fusion because you can actually shuffle back the materials from your, well, of course, from your banished and from your field, but also from your graveyard. So it is actually a pretty good card as a follow-up. That's interesting. It doesn't use the fusion materials from the deck, but since this is easily searchable thanks to Trap Trick, obviously it would be way too good if you could. But still, it's just a very good complement to your main deck engine. And speaking of engine, this is the first monster. Both of the monsters are Stratoses, by the way. If this card is normal or special summoned, Psychic, level 2, special summon. Emergency teleport doesn't negate the effect of the psychic monster that you brought back. Not too bad. You can add one mutant monster from your deck to your hand except M05, so except himself. Not nasty. You can just search this. What? Okay, so obviously this is the best E-Tele target. You can also tribute this card, then banish one. That's a separate effect. Then banish one card from your hand or face a field. Every time I see this, I instantly think of every single Thunder Dragon card and Giant Rex. So, and also Dotscaper. You can definitely play this this card in maybe no, I wouldn't play this as an engine. I would play engines in this. Maybe you can see things the same way I do. Who knows? Special summon one mutant monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card. So if it's a monster, you have to summon Mutant Beast. If it's a spell, which is less good, you have to summon Mutant Mist, and if it's a trap card, you have to summon Arsenal. Alright, we're going to read the effects of these guys soon enough, and also hard ones per turn for both effects. Now, ST46, very, very similar effect, but it's actually, instead of, well, it's the same tribute to special summon, but instead of searching for a monster, you search for a spell or trap, and also they have, like, reverse stats. And the level, it's level 2 and 3, which is, it's extremely whatever, because the only thing that really matters is E-Tele target. So as long as you're level 3 or lower, perfect, man. Being Psychic, nice. Maybe E-Tele back to 3, who knows? If Needle Fiber gets cucked, why not? What are you gonna do that is unfair with E-Tele? Outside of summoning Tinkan during the end phase, I can't think of anything that makes you go like plus plus plus. So it's not a broken card if Needle Fiber gets banned. Anyways, the other monster, level 4, garbage stats for level 4, so every single one of these monsters is like an El Mirage target, but I don't think it matters too much. During your opponent's main phase, okay, very specific, if Mutant Evolution Lab is on your field zone, and if it's October 17th of January 2016, you can special summon this card from your hand. Yes. If this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, okay, so basically its own condition, you can tribute this card, then banish one card from your hand or face a field, special summon one level 8 mutant monster that is banished or in the graveyard. I don't like this, because the thing is, it's like you can tribute and then you have to special summon one of your level 8 monsters. I don't like this. It should have been like you can special summon one of your level 8 monsters, and the reason why this changes everything is because now, in order to actually get to this part of the effect, you have to actually like respect the requirements on activation while you're actually doing the effect. So you can't just use the effect of this while you have no other level 8 monsters mutants. However, if it said you can, then you can just tribute this alongside and, you know, banish the mutant that you're about to special summon, and then special summon that same mutant right away. That would have been kind of happy land, but complete garbage. This is obviously by far one of the worst cards up until now. So this is definitely not a 3 of, especially since these guys definitely take up your normal summon. And like literally the only good way to special summon them is with E-Tele. So yeah, let's get into Mutant Beast. Friendly reminder that this is actually the monster that is summoned when you meet the monster requirement. So for both ST46 and O5 Mutant Beast when you banish a monster. So it's a level 8. They always have like a pretty similar first effect, so cannot be special summoned except with the effect of a mutant card. That's alright. Your opponent cannot target this card with monster effects. The one that is summoned with spells cannot be targeted with spells. The one that is summoned by banishing a trap cannot be targeted by traps. You catch on quickly. You can only use the following effects of Mutant Beast once per turn. My freaking mouse is going to get me freaking insane. I'm actually gonna kill someone. When your opponent activates a spell, holy shit, when your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect, quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field, negate that activation, interesting, and if you do banish that card, Merkaba, that's one of the best negations out there, negate and banish. But it's only for spells, it's not spell or trap. So that's a bummer, and if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target one of your banished mutant traps added to your hand. Okay, so it is untargetable by monster effects, it actually negates spells, and it recycles back traps when it is destroyed one way or another. And also, it says if this card is in its owner's possession is destroyed. So if your opponent goes Crush Card Virus or something stupid, or like Grinning Grave Virus, you can destroy this from deck and actually get some pluses, but come on. Yeah, you have higher chances of winning the lottery than actually getting Crush Carded or Grinning Graved. Anyways, Mutant Mist, this is the spell guy, if I recall correctly. Yes. Once again, the same first condition. Your opponent cannot target this card with spell effects, of course. Blah blah blah, once per turn effects. When your opponent activates a trap card or effect this time, it won't negate. You can banish one card from your hand or field, draw 2 cards, but the trap card that they used is actually still valid. It didn't do anything about that. All you did was banish a card from your hand or field to draw 2. So once again, I feel like this is a really expensive effect because they don't get effects themselves when they get banished. So Ghost Sarcophagus by default isn't that great. But the thing is, they mash so well with the Thunder Dragon strategy, probably even better than like Lone Wolf. Oh yeah, now the name is Aloof Lupine. I don't know, I like the synergy with them because you can also play Nemesis cards, and I don't know, this is the deck that I will be showcasing very, very soon. Yes, Nemesis Thunder Dragon Mutant. Yeah, we actually make pretty cool salads here, and by the way, when I say salad, I don't mean Salamantrash. Yeah, the effect is to recycle back a mutant monster when it's destroyed, by the way, so yeah, it's more realistic to recycle back a mutant monster because I don't even know why, but yeah. Mutant Arsenal, it cannot be special summoned except with the effect of a mutant card. Once again, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Now let's get to the Juice Bard. When your opponent activates a monster effect, the easiest one to trigger. Monster effects, you're always gonna get them. By the way, this deck doesn't seem like it loses to Nibiru whatsoever. You can easily play with only 1 or 2 summons. Like, I mean, 2 summons. you're a Stratos, you're small MT or ST or something, and then you summon this guy, and then you set a trap card and pass, and yeah, it's actually quite good. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field, then target one monster on the field, banish it. Would have been fantastico if it didn't freaking target, but it's still. And, you know, when it's destroyed, you recycle back one of your mutant spells. So, very, very similar effect. It's a Fire Machine level 8. That one is a Wind Spellcaster, what the frick? And that one is an Earth Beast. So, we're pretty much, like, completing, like, the trinity of attributes, but we're missing... Wait, hold on, this is water. Yeah, we still don't have light and dark, right? This is water. Yeah, all the little guys are water, actually. And then the big earth, wind, fire, so I expect the fusions to... Never mind. Mutant Synthesis. First of all, it looks pretty cool. Two mutant with different attributes. I want you to realize that this is the biggest curse / blessing that a deck can ever have. So, remember when we actually saw the Fire Fist support? Pretty much the first reflex that I had when I saw a fusion wasn't even like, oh cool, a fusion, nice, it's cool support for Fire Fist. More like, oh, a fusion, oh, now Fire Fist can never be too good, because if they become too good, then every deck that is playing Super Poly will just play the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist like fusion monster, and it only takes like 2 Beast Warriors, and it has like a pretty respectable effect during the battle phase. This is no different whenever they create like an archetype with like very, very... just, like the summoning condition is almost too easy. It's just 2 mutant monsters with different attributes. That's it, man. It's easy to have 2 monsters with different attributes. You're just gonna lose out to Super Poly. But to be fair, this deck is the kind of deck that looks like it can easily play with There Can Only Be One. Because all of your little guys that summon the big boys from the deck, they're all psychics. And you go into Beast, into Spellcasters, into Orb, like Machine. It's perfect with Dark Ruler, There Can Only Be One. You can also play Kaiser Colosseum if this card ever comes back, which won't be ever the case because this card is complete bullshit, and I hope it stays, I hope it rots in the ban list forever. And when I mean the ban list, I don't mean like limited, semi-limited, no. I mean in the banned list, yes. Anyways, if this card is fusion summon, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. I love the fact that you can destroy your own cards. Absolutely not relevant. When your opponent activates a card or effect, okay, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, this card is unaffected by the effects of an opponent's card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap as that card. This is unique. Like Ruggles explained, this actually baits 2 interruptions single-handedly, because let's just say you summon it and you target something like Boral Savage, then they go like whatever, Boral Savage negate, and then you chain to Boral Savage to make your own synthesis unaffected by monster effects, and now, well, their Savage is actually in danger, so they have to use another monster effect like Herald or Infinite or something to, to negate and destroy this card. So it's actually really cool to see one single monster be able to play through 2 interruptions, but that's just... it's easier said than done because it is a very hefty requirement. You do have to use 2 mutant monsters with different attributes, and you kind of just lose a lot of tempo when something like this happens, like you have to fuse maybe from the deck. Imagine if this deck actually has a Shaddoll Fusion spell card. That would be nice. That would be very, very nice. Yeah, if this fusion summon card is you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can add one of your banished mutant cards to your hand. This is so convenient because obviously it's always going to get destroyed when you use that effect, so... you use, let's say, 2 to 3 cards to make this, and then what happens is that you get one of them back. That's really sick. I like this card a lot. Like, outside of the fact that it can you can get cocked by Super Poly. But no, I'm pretty down. By the way, maybe Anaconda could actually tutor this card out, but it's better to summon during your opponent's turn with the trap card because it actually becomes an interruption. Because the pop isn't like proactive, It's only when it's summoned. So, and if it's fusion summoned, sorry, no, holy shit, the hiccups. You can't even revive it back from the graveyard and get its effect. And by the way, it's a level 9, so if you were trying to do some stupid shenanigans with the Trishula fusion and make VFD, well, go for it. The final guy, this artwork is gorgeous. I love this. It looks like the I don't know if you play RuneScape, the Hydra, alchemical Hydra. The Slayer boss monster looks really freaking sick. I mean, it just looks like a Hydra, but it looks amazing. By the way, both are Water Psychic and Dark Psychic. Nice, so we're missing the Light attribute, right? Yeah, that's it. We have everything except the Light attribute. Interesting. This card is actually a bomb. 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters? That's a huge requirement though. When a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish 1 mutant card from your hand, graveyard or face-up field. Nice, it actually says graveyard, so you don't have to neg with the money that you have in your bank. You can actually pay with someone else's wallet, and by someone else's wallet I mean your graveyard, but that's, that's not really your real wallet. Unless you're playing Infernoids, then, your graveyard is your hand, but in this deck, who gives a shit? Negate that activation, but it has to be a mutant card with the same type, so that's kind of a bummer. But the fact that it can negate everything is cool. It reminds me a lot of Ultimate Providence or There's another card, well, Merkaba, obviously, you have to, negate with the same type as the card that you discarded. Pretty cool, yeah, pretty cool. And if you do banish that card, exactly like Merkaba, except that you actually have to banish instead of discard, and you can do it from your graveyard. Not too bad, not too bad. You have this Fusion Summon card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card. You can add up to 3. Oh, add up to 3 banished mutant cards, but unfortunately, you can only take 1 monster max, 1 spell max, and 1 trap max. You can't just do like a mix of 2 monsters, 1 spell, or like it's whatever. And you can actually grab only 2 cards if you only have the ability to grab 2 different cards. But it's cool, and you can only use its effect, blah blah blah, once per turn, who cares. Now let's get into the field spell. Usually field spells, this is when you see, okay, sure, this is a tier 0 deck, a tier 1 deck, or a tier whatever deck. If the field spell usually says if this card is activated, search like an X card from your deck to your hand, we are off to a very bad start because it's going to mean that the deck is way too good, but this is actually not the case. When this card is activated, you can special summon one of your level 4 or lower mutant monsters from your hand, or that is banished. Okay, Gold Sark finally can do something if you play a lot of copies of this card. Mutant monsters gain 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards with different names. Who cares? Probably not gonna get in a lot. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place 1 mutant monster from your hand on the bottom of your deck, and if you do draw 1 card, that's like a crappy Cosmojo. That's the exact same effect as the Tri-Brigade Link 2. Interesting. You can only activate 1 Mutant Evolution Lab per turn. No, that is not a broken field spell. Is that a decent field spell? Maybe, but the thing is, we only have 2 really good monsters that you can afford to summon, and you only play 6 realistically. With Emergency Teleport, that's 7. You need to find like more ways to actually have access to these cards, but for now, I am not too sure. If you could actually aloof, banish another Psychic to banish this Psychic, and then you field spell, revive back, maybe, but that seems like you need too many cards to make it work. Unless there's a card that's like a Foolish Burial, but instead of Foolishing it Gold Sarks, like for a monster, but that obviously doesn't exist outside of like aloof. I can't really think of anything, honestly. This just doesn't sound like the go-to field spell that you always want to have in your opening hand, and you don't mind drawing multiple copies. Of course not. This is, unfortunately, significantly weaker. Mutant Fusion. Imagine if this card is like a Shadow Fusion. Would be nice. Fusion summon 1 Mutant Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing Fusion monster... Fusion monsters listed on it from your hand or field. This is not good. If your opponent has activated a card or effect this turn, you can use up to 1 monster each from your deck and graveyard as fusion material. This is pretty good. You know, like, only activate 1 Mutant Fusion once per turn. Okay, so if you draw 2, you get negated on the activation, not in the effect. And then you're like, oh, okay, thank you for fulfilling the activation requirement of my nasty one now. And then you activate it and you win. Merry Christmas. Holy Lord. Okay. I just feel like if you can actually summon it by using the materials from your deck or grave, you simply cannot lose. It's actually just an insta-win. So this card is actually pretty damn cool. I like the trap a little bit more, because I like to be able to summon that Synthesis, the level 9 guy, during the opponent's turn. That's really cool. But this actually just gives you a bit of juice. I really, really like this. Wow, not bad, not bad. You can, of course, Anaconda into this. It's a fusion spell. Yeah, am I missing something? No, you link them off and then you yes, okay, cool, interesting. Alright, sure, I'm down. Not bad, not bad. Mutant Blast. If you want to play this card, I strongly recommend you to play it in your Isolde deck. Specifically Infernoble. By the way, Infernobles, you really don't have to play Needle Fiber or any of those good cards. Personally, my combo in Infernoble, I actually just make Isolde. I send 9 equip spells, I summon Gearfried, and I pass. And the reason why this is such a good play is because... Okay, I'm just bullshitting way too much. Okay, Mutant Blast. Oh shit, this is the last one. Equip only to a level 8 or higher mutant monster. This is so bad. You control... At the start of the damage step, if the equipped monster attacks an opponent's monster, you can banish that monster. Oh, wow. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can banish this card, send that monster this card was equipped to the graveyard, and if you do special summon a level 8 monster with different original attribute from your hand or deck, you can only use this effect of Mutant Blast once per turn. Bricky AF. Equipped spells always have to be broken, and this just seems like it's so incredibly not good enough. Sure, it gives you non-targeting, non-destructive removal in the form of banishing at the start of the damage step. So, and also, wait, hold on. Oh shit, your monster has to attack. It's not like if the equipped monster battles. So if you get attacked, you are cucked because you can't use this. And the second effect, I just feel like it's really stupid and counterproductive or intuitive. Obviously, it's cute, but it's very far from broken. It's like the kind of equipped spells that will probably just brick more often than not, because just getting to your big guys looks difficult enough, since you basically have to draw the good ones and you only play 7 of them once again. Sure, there are Stratoses, but come on, if you're only playing 7 Stratos, you're still not super consistent. Like, your deck doesn't do that much, really. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the beautiful mutant cards. What do I think of them? I think they're cool. I think I need to test more with Thunder Dragons and Nemesis before I can actually give my opinion, because right now I actually have no idea what I'm saying. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace!